This is the continuation video for the access specifier. In previous video, I have shown this is the example. Uh, I will continue from here. Currently, what happening? This is this is the case one. Case one. In case one, what happening? Consuming member of a class from same class. Consuming member of a class from same class. This is the first case. What happening? We are just consuming member of a class. This test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. This is the member of the class program, and this members are consuming from same class. We are just here consuming, we are just in a create the instance of the program class and consuming all the 5 method here in the same class, program class. So this is the case one, consuming member of a class from same class. And already I have already told you that for the type we have 5 access specifier. I'm just repeating previous thing. We have 5 access specifier: private, public, protected, protected internal, and internal. Okay, 5 access specifier. But on the types here, class, interface, structure, all are types. And types, only 2 access specifier is applicable, either public or internal. We can't apply private, internal, and protected internal and types. Here program is a type. Okay, and on type we can apply only 2 access specifier, either internal or public. Okay, by default is internal. If there is no access specifier specify here, then by default internal. Okay, this is done. And for the members, this all are the members of the program class. For member, we can apply all the access specifier, means 5 access specifier we have, and on the members we can apply all 5 access specifier. Like in the example, we have applied private, internal, protected, protected internal, and public. For the members, we can apply all the access specifier. Okay, and the by default, for the types, by default, if there is no access specifier is specify, then by default is internal, and we can apply only 2 access specifier per type, internal or public. By default internal. If there is no access specifier specify here, then that is internal. But I have applied public. Public means there is no rule. This class can be accessible anywhere within class, within project, outside the project. Okay. And for internal, you can access only within a project. This is the another things I will tell in next video. I will complete that one. Okay. Just like for the class, the default access specifier is internal. Like that, for the members, default access specifier is private. Suppose I have not used any access specifier here, then that means this is a private. Okay. For the members, if there is no access specifier is used, that means that is private. Okay. Here, internal, if I remove this one, then test2 method is by default private. Okay, if there is no access specifier is used, then by default private. For members, private. Default access specifier for members is private, and default access specifier for types, that is here class, program, here internal. Okay, for the types, default access specifier is internal, and for the members default access specifier is private. And there is no rule here when the first case consuming member of a class from same class. Suppose here we have declared five different classes: test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, and these in this we have used different access specifier, means different visibility scope. Okay, but in when you declare the methods and used any access specifier, but if you consume in a same class, then all are accessible. Okay, each and every access specifier is accessible within a class. Is each and I mean each and every method, whatever access specifier is used, that is consumable in same class. This is the case of same class. But what happen if consuming in different classes, outside the classes? In the program, all member are accessible. Like that, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, all are accessible. Just already tell and run and show already. Here all are accessible and printed the output: test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. Okay, this is the case of consuming member of a class from same class. If you are accessing, if you declare defining a method uh, in a particular class and consuming in the same class, then all are consumable, whether that is private, public, protected, any access specifier is used. Like that, you already shown in the example. Okay, and what happens, we will discuss second case. And for second case, just add another class, just add another class. Suppose we have added class 2. Suppose I have added 2. Suppose I have added second class. Okay, and I have inherited program class here. Okay, public static void this is the second case. Just comment out case consuming member of a class from child class. This is the consuming, sorry, this is the second case, consuming member of a class from child class. I want to access member of a program class. Okay, I want to access member of program class from child class, means this is a second, this is second is a class, this is a child class. Okay, and program is parent class. So consuming member of class means consuming member of parent class from child class. Okay, now we are just implementing the second case. Okay, what happened in this case, just. And the rule of inheritance, you already, I think you know, uh, if uh, if you inherit the program class in child class, or if you create the child class for the program class, this is the second is the child class of parent program. Here is here program is a parent class, and this is a child class. We are just creating the child. Second is the child of the program, just we are creating. Okay. And the rule of inheritance, child class can access all the members of parent class just like an owner of the member. Okay. Inheritance give the facility to its child to access the member of parent just like its owner. Okay. So just we are creating the instance of class second as equal to new second. And what happened here, we are accessing test 2. We are able to access test 2, test 3, test 4, and s dot test 5, but we are not able to access test 1. Here there is no test 1. If uh, manually if write, then what happened? What is there? Just see. Second class second does not contain a definition for test 1, and no accessible extension method test 1 accepting a first argument of type second could be found. You are missing using the direct assembly reference. This means why the test 1 is not accessible, because the test 1 is private. Okay. If you see in the program, the test 1, here test 1 is a private. Test 1, this test 1 method is declared as private. I already show when you declare a member in a particular class and you are accessing in the same class, just like program, you just declare 5 members and all are accessing in a same class, then no impact, no problem. Whatever the access is specifier is used, no problem. But problem start when we are accessing outside the class. Just here outside the class in second class, when we are accessing, then problem start. And here test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, all methods are accessible in the child class of program parent class, but test 1 is not accessible because test 1 is a private. And just you uh, set in your mind that private member is only accessible within the class where it is defined. So that means program here test 1 method is a private, declared as private using the access specifier private. Okay. That means this member, this test 1 method only accessible within the program class. Outside the program class, this test 1 method is not available, is not visible. That is the reason in child class, the test 1 method is not visible, test 1 method is not accessible. Private member only can be accessible within the class or within the type that is declared. Okay. Outside the type, outside the class program, the private member cannot be accessed. Okay. In this case we have a program class and this program class we have test1 method that is private, so this is accessible only within the program class. Outside the program class, this test1 method have no visibility, have no existence. That is the reason we are not able to call the test1 method. Okay, and all member are called. Internal is also called, protected is also called, public is also called. Okay, all are called. Only private is not accessible outside the class. So just use console.read line to hold the screen, and just currently the startup project is set as program.cs. So I want to run this second class. Okay, so we need to set the startup class, go to the properties and set as a startup object access specifier demo.second. I want to run this one, second one. That's why I have set the startup class is second. When I have run this second class, then we get the output test2, test3, test4, test5. Okay, just start, run, and we get the output internal, protected, and protected internal, and public. All four are accessible, only private not accessible. Okay, now we will see the third case. Okay, for third case, just I have added one more class, just one more class like third. And in third class we will implement case 3, implement case 3, consuming consuming member of a class, consuming member of a class from non-child class. This is the second method. This is the third case. Okay, this is the first case, consuming member of a class from same class. We are consuming within the same class. We are just defining the all the members test1, test1, test2, test3 in the program class, and just consuming within the same class. Then all are accessible within the same class. The second case is consuming member of a class from child class. Okay, just we have a program class, and this program class we have all members, and all the members we are accessing within the child class, consuming member of class from child class. We are just accessing from child class. Then in this case only private members are not accessible, because private member is only accessible within the same class where it is declared. Outside the class there is no visibility of the private members, or there is no existence of the private members. Okay, this is the second case. And in third case we are just implementing consuming member of a class from non-child class. We can consume the members. We have two ways to consume members from a particular class. One way is just create the child class of that particular class. Okay, we are just create the child class of that class, and you can consume the member of that particular class, creating the child class. This is the first way, and this is the second way to consume members from a particular class without inheritance, without creating the child class. How? Just we need to create the instance and just consume here. This is the second way. And in the class third, just define a method public static void main, and within the main just I have created the instance of program class p1, program class, just declare instance variable as p, and this is the third case, consuming member of a class. We are just consuming member means uh, from the program class, I want to consume the members of the program class. Then one way is the creating the child class of this particular program class. We can also consume, and the second way is just instance the create the instance of the particular program class and access the member of this particular class. So I have created the instance of the program class, and I want to access the member of the program class. Okay, uh, we are just accessing without creating the child class from non-child class. That means from non-child class. This is the third is a class, and third is a class, but this is not child class of the program class. That's why I have written here consuming member of a class from non-child class. This is the only class non-child class. This is the non-child class. Third one is a non-child class, and second here second class is the child class of program class. Okay, that's why here in case 3 I have written the non-child class. Third is non-child. So I have created the instance of the program class, and using instance we are just accessing, then which now we are able to access test2, test4 and test5. Only three method is accessible: test2, test4 and test5. Here just write console.write read line to hold the screen. Just read console.line, just write console. Then what happened in the case third? We are able to access test2. In the second, we are able to access four method. 2, 3, 4, 5. Only internal is not accessible. Sorry. In case of second case, we are able to access 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Only test 1 is not accessible here, and test 1 is a private, and you already know that private member is accessible within the same class, not outside the class. That's why we are not able to access test 1 here. Okay, but in the case of third class, only we are able to access 2, 4, 5. 1 and 3 is not accessible. Why 1 and 3 is not accessible? You already know. For 1 it's clear. For 1, test 1 it's clear. 1 is private, and private is only accessible, only consumable within the class. So test 1 is declared, is defined in the program class. Okay, test 1 is defined within the program class, and you can only access test 1 in the program class because this is private. Because this is private, that's why we are not able to access test 1 here outside the class, and here outside the class. That's why test1 here is not visible, because test1 is a private. For test1 it's clear, okay, but test3 why is not clear? Why is not visible or accessible? Test3 here in the case of second here test3 is visible, but in the case of third class, case 3, here test 3 method is not visible. Why? Test 3 is protected. Test 3 is protected. And what is the rule? Private, you understand the private. Okay. Means private only can access within the class where in which class it is defined. Means program class it is defined test1, then within the program class this test1 can be accessed. You can't access test1 within the child class, you can't access test1 in non-child class. Okay, in both cases we can't access test1 because that is private. And what about the test3? Test3 is protected, and test3 here is accessible, but test3 here is not accessible. So what does it mean? It means that test 3 is protected, and child in case of child class in case of child class, when we creating the instance of program class, sorry, when we inheriting the program class in child class, then in this case test 3 is accessible, and from when we consuming test 3 from non-child class, then test 3 is not accessible. That means protected members can only be accessed within the class where it is declared. So that's why here test 3 is a protected, and that is accessible within the class. That means protected is accessible protected is accessible within the class in which that is declared, and protected members can be accessed within the class in which that is declared, and protected member can also be accessed within the child class. Okay, protected member can be protected member can be accessed within the class in which that is declared, that is defined, and also protected member can be accessed in the child class. Okay, for the protected, and the private members only can be accessed within the class in which that is declared. Only one statement for private. For private for private for private members only we can access within the class in which that is declared. Okay, but for protected, two statement within the class in which that declared can be accessed, means protected member can be accessed within the class in which that is declared, and also we can access within the child class. That's why we can access here child class, but here this is not child class, this is not child class. That's why protected, already you know private we can't access outside the class. That's why in second and third, in both, t1 is test1 is not accessible, and the for protected, for the protected the rule is protected can be accessed within the class in which that is declared, and child class that can be accessed. Protected member can be accessed in child class also. Okay, so protected member here accessible in the child class, but here is not accessible. Then you know for the private you understand, for the private access specifier you understand. Yeah, already just I'm repeating. For the class, by default access specifier is internal. By default access specifier is internal, and you can also use use public. Only two access specifier you can use, either internal or public. Okay, only two access specifier is valid for class or type, and by default is internal. And for members, the by default access specifier is private, and all access specifier is valid for members. Okay, this is the one thing, and we have discussed three cases: case 1, case 2, and case 3. Okay, I think that's all from my side, and I will make one more video to complete overall things regarding access specifier. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.